Hey, if you want to know how to kill the T-Rex in your Flowart, just come with me. Today I will discuss the topic of the T-Rex, which basically means in more or less all the Flowarts always to play or to dance with just short arms like a T-Rex. And we want to kill this really bad habit in this episode of my tutorials. But first, hey, I'm Kai, I'm a professional juggler. I started this YouTube channel at the beginning of Corona, and now I upload every Thursday a tutorial just about the Flowarts. Juggling with rings, clubs and balls, poi, stuff, or how you can build all these tools. It would be really awesome if you click the subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming video. And it appreciates my work I put in all of these tutorials. And now let's get started to kill the T-Rex. What does the T-Rex really means? It basically describes the arm position while you are playing with your toys or dancing with your toys. And it's like an way too short arm movement and not really using the extension of your arms like a T-Rex. Most of the time I see it from poi spinners and club jugglers, but basically it can describe in all kinds of Flowart like stuff or isolation hoop or levy stick, especially because you tend to just have it here in front of your body, really small, with really short T-Rex arms, and don't really use your whole movement. And how we approach this problem? In the first step, I will show you just how to get used to this movement and to get more mobility into your shoulders and your arms, which is important to get used to this movement, and then how you can transfer it to your tools like poi, stuff or clubs. For the beginning, it's important just to get your blood flowing, body working, mobilize your shoulders and your arms, especially when you are not used to this kind of movement. And for that, we can just simply roll our shoulders in both directions to get a little bit of movement there. And after that, we just simply use one arm and rotate it in the whole extension. And we can repeat this with the other arm. And we already can try a little bit of movement only with our arms, like opposite. But when you use it in opposite, it's always important that the arms are at the same time pointing downwards or upwards, because otherwise you would just cross your shoulders or basically breaking your shoulders, because it's impossible to get this arm position. So always start at the bottom and meet at the top. And also now you can switch one arm to go in the same direction. And also switch the direction of your arms. So now I hope your arms are a little bit more flexible, especially in your shoulder areas. And now I will show you a few tips and tricks with all around your float toys. Let's begin with a poi, or better say with two poi. Basically, you can use the extension of your arm to kill the T-Rex in nearly all poi moves. Like the weave would be simply this, but with really T-Rex style arms. But for example, on the side, you can open it and make an extension. And in this way, you are not locked into this T-Rex position. I might have already uploaded a short 1-minute Monday tutorial for it. If I found it, I will write the link in the description down below or maybe in a corner here above. And the same goes for the hip reels. On the hip reels you normally just have basically glued your hands to your hips and always have no much movement. But you can use it all the time, even with your arms stretched out. And also over your head, but my cave is a little bit too low for it. So the thing is that you can ask yourself in every single poi move, how can I use the extension of my arms to make this movement bigger, more visual, and make more dynamic and more
diversified. Diversified.
Yes, I mean that. And for a last example with the poi, when you have a weave, for example, you also can go always in the extension of the arms and go small again. So always ask, where can I use the extension of my arms to make bigger movements and stop this T-Rex style. Now I will go to the juggling clubs, which is mainly the most difficult to kill the T-Rex style, but even there it's possible. Here I have just simply 3 clubs. When you juggle, you normally have the arms really close to your body, and I really teach you when you juggle to keep your elbows locked to the side of your body, because this makes a nice throw position and a better technique than just simply, for example, go with this overstretched arms. But that doesn't mean that you have always stick to this position. There are many movements where you also can use the extension of your arms. For example, if you make a 4-4-1, you can use always the spot for the 1 to make any kind of bigger movements. To spin it around or just basically point at something. And another great way is when you are juggling 2 clubs in one hand. Use the free hand to make some bigger movements. Use your free hand to make some big circles or even some flowers. And also, if you have a kind of butterfly style, you can extend your arm. So there's always room for it, and especially when you're going to perform, it's always nice to make some breaks with bigger arms for the transitions, that you go away from the small, close to your body position, that you can make space of your movement and use the whole stage. And now we are going to the stuff. For stuff spinners, there is basically the same thing. You can ask yourself as a poi player, like, where and when can I extend my arms? And just a simple movement like that, a 2-beat, can be used in nearly every position of your arm. You don't always have to keep your hands down at the hip. You can use it at the shoulder height or over the head, or even just rotate with the whole straight arm. And that's possible with one stuff, like I showed you, or even better with double staffs. So you have a really wide open posture and use it for this. And especially, as I already shown you, basically movements like that, where you pass your stuff from one hand to the other, you can also extend your arm. Go big, go wide. Use it. Use your arms and your space. So always think about when you can use your extension of your arm to get another movement, then not just the small part on every position where your hand is, like here hip reels, not a hip reel, a propeller, or as I showed you, the hip reel, but in this case it's basically at shoulder height with straight arms, but it's the same as the hip wheel from the movement of your hand. And also basically first time that I'm having a part of tutorial with this tool, an isolation hoop. You can use this on even isolation hoops. You don't have to use just this small little space of your hoop. You can really use your arm to extend this movement in every direction of it. So again, using much more space than just this little part for your small T-Rex arms. And even better, if you use it for hand spins. Again, closely to the stuff, you can use it for anti-spins and just movements with a whole straight arm. So always ask yourself, where can I extend my elbow? Where can I extend my arm to the whole length to get much more space, which you can use your flow, for your performance, for your dance. It gives you really much more freedom in your movement when you try to find spots in your flow, in your movement, in your patterns, where you can extend to your full width and use all the space. Awesome that you watched to the end of the video. So congratulations, you won a free subscription to this channel. Click the subscribe button, ring the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming video like that. At the moment it's Movement May, it's all about the movement with your flow tools. I hope I could help you a little bit to go away from this really ugly and not so nice T-Rex arms that use your whole space and arm length for your performance. And so if you like, write something down in the comments below what you want to see next in the movement. If you have a specific move or dance style you would like to get a little bit of information about it, or just basics and a discussion how I think about all this movement with your flow tool, because there is really much to it and much more than just the playing poi or juggling 3 clubs kind. To combine it with dance and more work, just basically more with your body. And before we see us next week, click the subscribe button and here you find another video. Bye.